Hello everyone. A question for you all. How many of you have felt an emotion akin to emptiness after completing a major life milestone after anywhere from a few days to a few months and even to a few years? That sudden realization or epiphany that, wow, this really was the end of X event or period of my life. It legitimately does hit you like a truck. Not exactly the kind that I know some of my fellow anime watchers would like, but certainly hard enough to the point where you're left with a sense of dread about what to do, where to go, and how to go about your next move. Whether this feeling comes from finally finishing primary, secondary, or higher education, finally learning the proper way to play that new game you were introduced to, or becoming so adept at a practice that there is essentially nothing more for you to learn about it. This emotion, for lack of a better word, is one of the few inevitable things in the world that you have to look forward to. The question is, how are you going to overcome this bump in the road in order to get to the next step that you know you're supposed to be at? Now, for all intents and purposes, things are supposed to be able to reach a conclusion. Imagine living a life that never ended. While in theory it sounds like one of the best things ever, and I'd have to admit that becoming the equivalent of what would basically be a watcher from the Marvel comic book universe, observing how all events in the future and the world beyond play out would be one of the sickest things ever. You would be limited on what you could learn eventually, forever being protected or held back rather from ever finding out what's next because you're comfortable in this static behavior that won't get you anywhere, frankly. Where do you go next though? And that, my friends, is the million-dollar question. The fear of leaving behind what you do know to venture out into a realm that you don't, with the hope that you do one simple thing. Make it. So, how do you juggle a balancing act between the two? How do you progress towards the next objective without burning out or coming to possess a sentiment that this new thing, whatever it may be, is worthwhile, all at the same time of not falling back into the same old formula or way of living that you know for a fact works? For those of you who are new around here, first of all, hello again and welcome to my channel. To make a long story short, I am personally a believer in the philosophy that wearing your heart on your sleeve and allowing others to learn from your mistakes only makes you better in the long run. By exposing myself to you all, I am presenting the opportunity to give you a genuine perspective and sort of likeness of someone real rather than regurgitating some info I found on the internet. Although I will do a little bit of that here and there because I am a simple man and I enjoy my statistics and facts. Getting back on track though, I recently graduated from college. And you know what they say about college. Emphasis on they. It'll get you a good job, good money, the whole nine. Luckily, I never fully bought into that and had always seen college as this sort of backup plan until I could find out exactly what it was that I was wholeheartedly into. Now, this is to say that I will never use what I learned in higher education. No. In fact, I love psychology and the inner workings that come with it. I even use some of the principles and concepts that I learned in my classes here in these YouTube videos, if you haven't been able to tell yet. I try my best to make it obvious. Yet, my heart lies with numerous other things that, admittingly, can be more fun. Trust me, I'm constantly trying to pinpoint why I'm choosing violence and chaos in my everyday life with how roundabout I make certain hopes and dreams. We'll get there eventually. So, why is there this feeling of emptiness and that was it? Attitude after we complete any number of huge milestones we set for ourselves? Well, the answer is quite simple when you really think about it. We, as human beings, with our set of complex emotions and thought processes, preconceived notions and stereotypes, make everything out to be bigger than it actually is. Now look. I know that you know that we know that they know. I can be sometimes a cynical individual, but allow me to preface this before you all go any further with the pitchforks and torches. I alone can count on both of my hands the number of times that I've been left feeling unfulfilled by food, video games, my life choices. Sorry, that one was kind of dark. But the point is that all of these instances of being let down came from me expecting whatever the event in question was to be more than it actually, turned out to be. If I may add in really quick, being let down by food is genuinely a different kind of pain. wasted money, wasted time, wasted appetite. Anyway, the idea is more of an excitement factor than the end result that we achieve. And that is what brings us full circle to applying this into more goal-focused areas. As stated once before, many of you, myself included, have heard how high school senior year is the best time of your life and your college years would be the best time of your adulthood. But if we're going to shift away from strictly scholastic affairs, for those of you who have ever received a promotion while working a job, any kind of job honestly, was the promotion genuinely worth it to you? Did it feel like you were not only finally put in a position that you deserved, but also as though your efforts were being properly compensated for? I have a feeling while the possibility that I'm wrong is open and out there in the world, the answer is no. So many facets about life were played up with the goal of having everyone work harder than I personally believe that they should. But the problem is that we are essentially backed into a corner as a result of a massive economic, societal, and personal hurdles or norms set in place before the chance to feel comfortable has even an opportunity to arise. We are told to achieve one thing or another from the time that we are born, with seldom breaks in between. It can be anything from, oh, learn how to hold a fork by yourself, or learn how to, pour your own bowl of cereal, learn how to get your glass yourself, things like that. And this gives us the impression that we're not done yet due to these aforementioned norms that we are subscribed to and that we base our life around. Metaphorically speaking, you can't reach your plateau because there is no plateau for you to reach, at least until you abandon what it is you've known your entire life. This video was not meant to scare anyone by any means. As I said before, I try my hardest to wear my heart on my sleeve and keep everything 100% no matter the subject. I am also in no way trying to tell you, give up on your dreams and die. That was an Attack on Titan reference. Or that you should not try to be the best version of yourself that you can be. It's the exact opposite, really. It's better to have the information and attempt to make a change where and when you can, versus being continuously left in the dark about something that could potentially help you out in whatever situation you might find yourself in. Chasing your dreams and aspirations is what makes you, you at the end of the day. But just remember that there's always a good place to stop. Become comfortable with the idea that you will one day have to stop, and it'll be okay. When that day comes, and it will come, whether you wanted to or not, know that you did what you did to the best of your ability and reap the rewards that you do have instead of lamenting over those that you don't. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Have a good one, and be nice to yourselves. Today, and every day after that. See you guys later. Bye.